Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the Lead Out, our Lifetime Grand Prix pre-race show. We are coming to you live today from 10,200 feet above sea level in the iconic, in Leadville, in the iconic Leadville Trail 100 presented by Kinetic. My name's Kimo Seymour. I work with the crew here at Lifetime, and joining me today in the studio, fresh off a flight from back from Paris at the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, Lauren Hall.
Ripping the Band-Aid off here at 10,000 feet. Went for a run this morning. My God. But, let me tell you, the weather is phenomenal. I'll take it any day. Thank you for having me.
48 hours off a plane. We're glad to have you back here with us again. And stepping in for our good friend Sarah Sturm, who we just found out had her baby on Monday.
Yeah.
She's been with us the first couple events of the year, but we've got the gravel OG from Unbound, Kristi Mohn.
Hi. It's great to be here. I'm so excited to be out here at Leadville and breathing this thin air. Yeah.
It is thin.
It's thin.
It's thin. Fortunately, a little bit wet. We've got a little bit of moisture.
Yeah.
It's help us with some of the fire challenges we've had here this summer. Let's talk a little bit about the lineup today, what we're going to do with the show. Two guests, first two guests that are going to join us. Both Lifetime Grand Prix athletes, but also both of them have a deep history here at with the Lifetime Leadville Trail 100. We've got Melissa Rollins and Keegan Swenson coming in to join us. We're going to have our race director, Tamira Jenlink. She's going to come in, do a little course talk for us, talk about some of those challenges we've had with the fire here this summer, the Willow Fire. We'll talk about Lifetime Grand Prix standings. We're each going to take a little time, as we have in the past, to give our own picks, have a little fun with that. And I think before we get started on that, we'll dive into some names to watch here this year at the Lifetime Leadville Trail 100. Starting off with our men's, we have got Matt Beers, who is currently co-leading the Lifetime Grand Prix, recently second at Unbound Gravel. Brendan Johnston, currently fourth in the Lifetime Grand Prix. Cam Jones, our 2025 Lifetime Grand Prix champion, winning off of a wild card entry last year. Braden Lang came out and won the first round of the Lifetime Grand Prix at the Sea Otter Classic gravel event. And then we got Payson McKelvin, who's always solid here, fifth last year, always solid, but coming off some injuries. So I'll be curious to see what Payson can do this year.
Also, Simon Pillow, second overall in the Lifetime Grand Prix in 2025. Keegan Swenson will be joining us here in the studio later. Five-time returning Leadville champion. Alexi Vermeulen, multiple top 5 finishes. And let's not forget Quinn Simmons, current U.S. Road National Champion and just fresh off the Tour de France.
Yep. And on the women's side, we're looking forward to seeing Lauren De Crescenzo. She's won a couple of the Lifetime Grand Prix events standalone and also was fifth in the 2023 edition. Cecily Decker, she's currently sitting in second place in the Lifetime Grand Prix and first off of the Leadville stage race. So she had some good success out here just recently. Sofia Gomez Villafana, you cannot count her out. She is having a ton of success this year and really showing how strong she is. Sarah Lang, one of my picks for this year. Cecile Lejeune, sitting in seventh place in the Grand Prix. Carolina Majon, the 2025 Unbound Gravel champion. Hannah Otto was in 2022. She won here at Leadville, and she's been in the top 10 overall at the Lifetime Grand Prix every year. Haley Preen is also joining us. She's currently sitting in fourth, and she's coming off of a Cape Epic second place win with partner Haley Smith. Melissa Rollins is our 2024 Leadville champion. Second place here to Kate Courtney last year, and one of the 2 women to go under 7 hours here last year. And then Lauren Stevens, she's got an axe to grind. She's currently sitting in fifth place here at the Lifetime Grand Prix, and she is our current U.S. National Road Champion.
Lauren and Kristi, you just have to be in awe of the lineup we have at this event.
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
Amazing, the talent that is showing up to race the Leadville 100 these days.
Absolutely love it. And before we bring in Melisa as our first guest of the day, let's take a look back at 2025 and her ride and talk about the result that she had there.
You talked about it a little bit earlier. She's coming in as defending 2024 champion, right? Second here last year. She and Kate Courtney were the only two, the only 2 women that have gone sub-7 since Annika Longvad set the record back in 2015. That record stood for 10 years, and Melissa and Kate came in and broke that record last year. 10th overall in the Grand Prix 2022. She skipped the series in 2023, did a little stint on the road, but we're glad to have her back in 24. She was 2nd overall in the Grand Prix, ended up 3rd last year. Leadville results we talked about, she's been 10th in 2022, 1st in 2024, 2nd in 2025, and think this will be her 8th Leadville. Is that right? 8th finish at Leadville this year. Would that be right? You've got 7 finishes?
Yes, yep. I've lined up 9 times and finished 8. No, lined up 8 times, finished 7. This will be my 8th attempt.
Shooting for your 8th
finish. Yeah.
Well, truthfully, this is a homecoming for you.
Yeah, it's been quite a long year for me, and I'm super excited to be back racing after breaking my elbow earlier this year.
Yeah, you had a rough start.
Yeah, it was.
Spent a lot of time baking this spring, we heard.
Yep,
All right.
a bit of baking and a bit of biking eventually, but yeah, now we're back.
How's the arm feeling after all that?
Mostly good. Yeah, I had a second injury after I broke my elbow. I also tore my triceps partially, and
Is that when you and I talked? You took a little trip and just out on a nice walk?
yeah, a little trip, a little trip on the trip. And yeah, tore my triceps, and that has been sort of the worst injury. It's kind of has a bit of a unsure what the timeline looks like, and yeah, it gives me a little bit of issue on descents. But yeah, we're slowly getting some strength back. I got a DEXA scan, and my left arm is 2 pounds lighter than my right arm.
Oh my God.
So we're making up the
What a way
discrepancy
to shave
slowly.
weight, huh?
Yeah, it's been my plan the whole time.
That was what was on the docket. I'm not buying that. Well, I'm curious because you've been such a Leadville staple. I mean, you're one of the few athletes that's also done the Leadville Trail Run. So you've run the 100 course here, and then obviously you've had a ton of success racing your mountain bike here. What do you think this year's course changes are going to bring about with some of your, the whole series line of the grit, guts, and determination? What are you going to see this year on this course?
I think it will be really interesting because both the outbound and inbound direction of Powerline, I think, really impact the result of this race. And without having that, it is going to change the dynamics for sure. I think there will be faster moving times, bigger groups, and with that, potentially more tactics involved. And yeah, I think it's going to eventually impact how the race plays out.
You know, a lot of people talk about all the climbing in Leadville, right? And this year we're going to have about somewhere around 2,500 feet less of altitude gain, right? Vertical gain. But you and I were talking earlier out front here, that descent of Powerline is also a separator, right? That's a tactical point of the race where, the descending on that, you can make or break your race historically, right?
Yeah. So I think that sort of levels the playing field a bit for people who are not as confident descenders. But another interesting fact about not having Powerline in the race is that the race stays lower for a lot more of the race. So you don't hit 11,000 feet that many more times. You're reducing that 2 more times in the race. And every time you go over 11,000 feet, I think that impacts you way more than it does, sitting at 9,500 feet, which is what the majority of the rest of the race is at, like the pipeline section and into Twin Lakes. So I mean, altitude matters, and it matters exponentially up here. So,
well, this isn't a race that you ride to elevation. You start at elevation here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about your bike?
Yeah.
Got a new paint job.
I have a beautiful new paint job. I'm super honored to be the current marathon mountain bike national champion. That was sort of like my first comeback race of the year that happened just about 4 weeks ago. So yeah, this year I'll be lining up for Leadville on a American flag bike with an American flag kit. And yeah, I'm really excited. If anything, the race can go however it's going to go, but I get to fly the flag this year, and that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Well, that bike looks fast just sitting here, so it's pretty impressive. That's a great looking bike.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's also fast.
Melissa, thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a fantastic race this week. We know you're a fan favorite here. You and your family have a long history of racing here in Leadville, and we hope you have a fantastic day on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for taking the time to stop by. And now, speaking of people that know how to win the race, the Leadville Trail 100, we're going to bring in Keegan Swenson. Keegan is here for his let's see, his 5th trip to, or this would be his potentially 6th win in six tries at Leadville. He's got a phenomenal history here with the Leadville Trail 100, as I said, finishing 1st overall here at Leadville 5 years in a row now. Also, in the Lifetime Grand Prix, Keegan has won. He won the first 3 editions of the Lifetime Grand Prix, ended up 4th in the Grand Prix last year in the overall standings. He's currently tied with his teammate, Matt Beers. And he is, again, returning champion, and also set the course record. Back here in 2024 was the course, 2023 was the course record, right? Is that right?
I think so.
I think it was
20, or was it 22?
I thought it was 2023, because then you've had 2 since then that just above that time, still within a couple minutes of it. But yeah, I want to say 2023.
One of those years.
Either one, you've got the course record. And you know, interesting. We were looking at some of the old results. The last person to win the Leadville Trail 100, the record you're chasing. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Dave Weens, his last win was in 2008. His last win was exactly 1 hour slower than your record time, 6:45 for the last year that he won. So it's amazing how fast this race has become over the years, and you've been a part of helping to change it. But what have you seen with the transition of the Leadville Trail 100 just in your 5 years of racing here so far?
I mean, I think the field's just gotten so deep, and everyone's gotten so fast here. And as with every race, same with Unbound and CR, all these races, everyone gets faster every year, and everyone learns how to push more, how to dial in the equipment and pacing and nutrition. And I think we're all kind of learning that we can always push more and more every year up here, and learning like, okay, you can push eke a few more watts out up every climb. And everyone's gotten to know the course, and really the race just starts immediately. Because I know that in the past it used to kind of like roll out easy, and then the race really wouldn't get started until Columbine, and now we're racing straight off the start. So
Yes, you are. And again, to Kimo's point of Dave Weens, do you know that he's won 6 times and you've won 5? And do you come into this race be like, that is on my mind, or you're just here to win the race?
I mean, not really. I'm just here to win the race. With every other edition, I think, I don't like to get ahead of myself and think too far ahead like that. I think every time I come here, I treat it as, as if I haven't won the race, and I'm just here to try and win the race again,
Well, I'm so excited you're here. I have so many questions to ask you. My next question is, now that you have Quinn Simmons toeing the line with you, you guys train a lot together in Tucson. What dynamic does that bring to your race strategy, and does it change at all?
I don't know that it changes my strategy per se, but I'm quite excited. Quinn's one of those riders who is always willing to just push. He goes out and rides flat out every race he does, and he's not going to hide and not going to like sit in and play any weird games. He's just gonna, he's gonna put all the cards on the table and ride. So I'm quite excited for that, because there's not a whole lot of guys who will race like that up here, especially at altitude. So I think I'm excited. Quinn, like I said, we trained together a lot in Tucson. He's been riding so well over the last few months, and he had a great tour. So I think, he'd be definitely one to watch out there.
You've probably heard a lot about the Willow Fire and the impacts it's had on this community. And as you know, even up as just as recently as it was a week ago, we finally got a course finalized, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about the course in a second. But with these course changes, the impacts of the fire and that burn really kind of took out most of Powerline, right? And you've heard us talking about taking that piece out. How do you think that changes the dynamics of the race and how the race is going to go down Saturday?
Yeah, man, I think it could make it a little bit more tactical on the way out. Kind of like Melissa said, I think it'll change the dynamics a little bit. I also think it's going to make Columbine even more. I mean, Columbine's always kind of the crux of the race in a way, but not having Powerline looming on the way home, I think everyone's going to be willing to really gamble and push really hard up Columbine to either like stay with the group they're in or try and drop the group they're with. And I think that's going to be really the race is going to be won or lost there. Perhaps there's can make up some time or get caught on the way home, but I think in the end the groups are going to be made there, and that'll be the race.
We're thinking there's probably going to be a pretty good group at the bottom of Columbine together, and that's where the race is going to start, right? I mean, there's going to be a hard effort over St. Kevin's to stay together, but you got to imagine there's going to be a pretty good group of men and women there at the bottom of Columbine, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot bigger than it has been in the past without having Sugarloaf and the Powerline descent to kind of thin it out a little bit, So yeah, I'm curious, how the groups will be and how everyone's going to be. I mean, St. Kevin's, it's going to be a little bit of it'll be wide open, I think, as it always is. But I think guys will be willing to gamble a little bit more without having to worry about Sugarloaf. And they're going to be trying to make the best selection they can on the way out to make sure they're in the fastest group, So
I saw you ripping up there this morning up St. Kevin's, and I was riding. I mean, it's kind of torn up compared to what it's been in the past, right? It's not as smooth as it normally is, that climb.
Yeah, it's a little more loose, but luckily we've gotten some rain the last couple of days, and it's looking a lot better this morning than it was a couple of days ago when I rode it. I mean, it looks like they've done a lot of logging up there and whatnot. So, yeah, the road was pretty beat, but now it's kind of getting beaten a little better, a little smoother, a little bit faster. So.
Okay, well, we only have time for one more question, Keegan, and this is going to go away from race topic completely. Blink 182, what would be your favorite song by any chance?
Oh, probably Anthem Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saw the tattoo that you've gotten recently, and yeah, just always love to follow your tattoo journey. So, Keegan, thank you so much for being here with us today and taking time out of your day. And good luck to you on Saturday, and we wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time, Keegan.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Good luck this weekend. Thanks. All right, we're going to take a quick look at the overall Lifetime Grand Prix standings and how things are shaping up. I mentioned a little bit earlier, Matt Beers and Keegan Swenson tied for the lead after Unbound. Alexi Vermeulen in third. Alexi's always a solid performer in the Grand Prix. I think he's always been in the top 10. Brendan Johnston from Australia coming back. He's had a couple really solid years, and he's riding really fast. Kobe Freeburn, new young up-and-comer in the series. Braden Lang coming off that win at Sea Otter. He was first until coming out of Sea Otter, and then obviously with Unbound had a little bit of a tougher day and slipped a little bit in the standings. Simone Pelot, who has had a really solid last year. Cameron Jones, last year's overall champion, came in on a wild card, as we mentioned, and then Anton Stensby. Martins Blooms, unfortunately, is not going to be able to race with us. He's injured right now.
And for the women, we've got Sofia Gomez Villafañe. That's no surprise. She's riding super strong this year. Cecily Decker sitting in second place, followed closely by Rosa Closer. She's coming off a Tour de France Femavac Zwift challenge over there. Haley Preen is in fourth. Lauren Stevens in fifth. We've got Paige Onweller sitting in sixth. Cecile Lejeune is in seven. Lauren De Crescenzo sitting in eighth place. Sarah Lang is in ninth. And rounding out our top 10 are Samara Shepard and Morgan Aguirre. So it's exciting women's top 10 there.
We just have such an amazing field in the Grand Prix this year. It's really unbelievable to see the kind of competition we've got there. So joining us here in the studio now, Tamira Jenlink. I get the pleasure of working alongside Tamira here at the Red Rail Race Series. Tamira's been our race director for 6 years now, Tamira?
Working into it, yeah.
Working hopefully for six events after this, if you survive this weekend. And Tamira's done an amazing job of navigating the challenges of this willow fire and the impacts on the community, and really the impacts on the community really outshadow the impacts on the events, right? We're just trying to put on a bike race, and Tamira's done an amazing job. Tell us a little bit about how the willow fire has impacted the event this year.
Yeah, thanks, Kimo. It's definitely been, in our backyard from the word go. It was the day after the marathon, so from the beginning of that, we've just seen so many layers for our community to navigate in terms of unpredictability, uncertainty, people removed from their homes, those pieces. We're lucky in a lot of ways, not nearly as bad as many places around us and near us, and I think we all feel that. But that, in addition to, kind of left us in uncertainty of how we move forward. We kind of had to be patient, really work closely with our permitting agencies, officials, the fire officials, all those different folks, and kind of let it take its course for a little bit, and then be able to step in and realize where we can go and what we can do.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, why is this Leadville community so special? How does it rally together around an event like this?
Yeah, it is pretty special, and I think it draws, the community itself tends to draw the people even over the backyard. The backyard's pretty amazing, our outdoor access, but this is a very strong, very gritty, one of our favorite words up here, group of humans, right? Very resilient, very determined, and very much the shirt off your back, take care of each other, step up. And it is really amazing to watch what happens and be a part of it as we all navigate. And this whole community just showed up in strong force. Like, we had folks out helping mitigate one home caught in the area for the first solid 10 days of that event, trying to make sure it didn't get caught in those impacts. Yeah, so.
Well, you guys have definitely taken this opportunity to show what that grit, guts, and determination looks like. You've risen above, and we're getting to have this course. So although we've got some changes and we've lost some of the favorites, can you kind of walk us through what this course looks like for this year?
Yeah, I think overall, if we just start, we get to start with this very iconic 6th and Harrison start, which is pretty amazing that we do get to start there. And as we all know, that's a pretty fast start going out. No big changes there. We head out. we're on the pavement for a few miles, and then we're headed straight into the dirt and into that, we're going to get into that regular Keevans climb. So the traditional piece there, about a mile, really strong push there, and then come into Carter Summit. And then a really fast descent coming down 7 miles around that lake. And then we're kind of in this true cross country, in my opinion, between there and getting out to Columbine Climb. You're getting back into the regular course at Outward Bound there, so everything traditional there that you're familiar with at this point, cruising along the pipeline, getting out, again, hilly, like just pretty mellow grades in there, coming around Twin Lakes, and then we're going to set ourselves up for that 7-mile climb out of Lost Canyon. Everything traditional there. The cool thing at the top is we do get to go kind of over to that original turnaround point, a little bit of half mile back, of half mile out further, and then we get that fast 7-mile descent back down. So all of that's traditional, and we're back into this, very cross-country course for a while until we get back over to the lake. So you're back through Twin Lakes Dam, all the cheering and hurrahing, and through the pipeline, everything familiar. Again, pretty, no crazy grades or climbs back through the fish hatchery area, and then we back into the 7-mile climb back up to Carter Summit. That's pavement this year. But then we're dropping down Keevans Gulch, everything we know and love, and back on the boulevard, heading our way home and into Kennemare Lee for a buckle.
I think you'll be there too.
I might be there too.
The old hug from Kennemare Lee.
Gotta have it.
We're glad to be able to get Kennemare Lee back out there again, and had dinner with them last night, and they're doing well. Obviously, they're excited, and they'll be up at the expo here the next couple days. So let's talk a little bit about the impacts. We talked about the impacts of this fire on the community. The Lifetime Foundation, as you know, and we all work closely with the Lifetime Foundation, and we raise a lot of money that gets invested back in this community, primarily coming from our riders. We made the commitment, at least up till now. We're donating $50,000 to start some of the reforestation work that's going to have to happen. And as you and I know, it's going to take a couple years before we'll get to that point where we're out there planting trees. But as part of what we do with the Lifetime Foundation and our Healthy Planet initiatives, we want to invest back in this community and help to replant some of the areas that were burned out, and obviously that affected our course. So if you want to support that work, the QR code here on the screen, if you want to learn a little bit more about it and you want to donate to that cause. We did have a number of athletes that were not able to race this year that have chosen to donate their entry fees as well to support that cause. So we're excited about that opportunity to help the community with the Willow Fire.
Thank you so much, Kimo, and I think to the foundation and just the continued effort and partnership to really think about what are the next ways that we can contribute in this community, and that's a really powerful one coming out of this space we're in right now.
Yeah. Last thing I wanted to say, Tamara, I want to just thank you for your hard work. I don't know how, I'm sure I added a little stress to your plate here the last couple weeks,
Kimo,
but how many courses do you think you looked at over the last 4 weeks trying to come up with something before we finally came up with a course? Literally last Thursday, we finally had a course.
I think since the first week, before we even had to unfortunately cancel the Silver Rush, we're starting to lay it out, and there's at least 30 iterations for each 100. So for the 100 mountain bikes, certainly there's at least 30 iterations there.
And people don't understand, between the agencies and you were out meeting with private landowners, trying to get landowners to let us use their land, and Forest Service and BLM and county and city and everybody involved. It's just amazing.
It is, and it's hugely important. Like part of that piece that you were talking about this community and how we pull together, and to really, from the word go, it was the sheriff's office, it was the police department, it was the city, the county, the fire, the Office of Emergency Management, all of us meeting, and we have met. I pretty much talk to them every day at this point, making sure, are we still good with this? And reviewing everything, and just the close partnership and the communication and support there has been tremendous, and a tremendous ally.
Well, we appreciate your hard work, and we're so happy we've got a great course. I think for given the circumstances, it's going to be a phenomenal course. It's going to change the dynamics of the race, but it's going to make it exciting.
It's going to be fast.
Looking forward to it.
It's going to be fast.
It's going to be fast.
It'll definitely be fast. Look at the weather. It's going to be cool. We might have a little bit of rain. So anyway,
if you go faster, it'll be better. You will miss the storm part.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So Tamara, thank you for joining us today. Thanks for walking through the course, and good luck this weekend. You have the most stressful job of anybody out here. So
Agreed.
Thank you both very much.
Thanks, Tamara.
Thanks, Tamara.
We're going to take a look at the weather, actually, to see what's on forecast. There is a forecast for rain right now. It looks high likelihood of some afternoon rain. We've had some rain the last couple of days. It's actually been beneficial to bring down the smoke, and the AQI is much improved. Going to be 64. I think it's going to be somewhere around 45 at the start.
It's going to be chilly.
64 throughout the day. Kind of perfect racing conditions. It might get a little ugly if it rains too much, but I know from my days of racing back here, that afternoon storm moving in kind of helps cool you down, and it's looking like it's going to be perfect conditions for a race on Saturday.
I think that's going to make it fast. Is that the word today?
Fast?
Fast.
Let's go with it. Yeah. It is now. That's our word.
That's our word. We claimed it. Steak. No, I mean, the weather's always a factor out here, and you get those mountain storms coming in the late afternoon. So I think we're going to see some of that, and just everybody's going to roll with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, weather plays a factor. We were talking a little bit before we got started. Equipment. What are some of the
Yes, I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, some of the things that are happening with equipment. What do you think?
Okay, so what I've already seen is athletes will have bar tape on their bars closer to the center, to where out here is when you're rowdy and you need control, and here is when you want to be aerodynamic and tight and within a group. And we're talking about, Melissa was talking about this, Keegan was talking about this. We are going to see these groups, right? More of a tactical race here. So being efficient and aerodynamic is, this is 100 miles at altitude. My God, you need that.
Yeah, you're going to have
That's
to
what
punch
I've
up.
seen. What about you guys?
Well, I know we don't have drop bars.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
I think a lot of people
you're
are okay
welcome.
with that too. Yes.
Saw him a lot in the video earlier.
I know.
Be here this year.
They're not going to be here this year, but we got to kind of talk about radios, because we've got Lauren Stevens coming back. Is anybody else going to replicate that? Like, who's going to be chatting with other people out there to?
We
see how
might
that dynamic
have a
goes?
little bit of team play, because
Yeah.
you're going to have the Beers Keegan combo, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be key. Again, like we're talking about more of a group racing and attacking and counterattacking and protecting. And Keegan could definitely use that help from Matt Beers until it comes time for Keegan to say, you know what, I'm out of here. Sayonara. I'm taking the win.
Oh, I think that's what he wants.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking. What are you thinking, Kimo?
One of the things I'm wondering about, and I wish we would have asked Keegan or Melissa about this, but we made a pretty big announcement yesterday about the 2027 Lifetime
Sure.
Grand Prix and how we're going to change the selection process. We're going to get out of the selection business, right? We're going to let the athletes kind of figure
Sure,
it out. And that was based on a lot of feedback from athletes that we've heard over the years, that we haven't been perfect at how we select athletes. We've done our best, but we kind of screw it up every year. And so we said, you know what, we're gonna turn it over to the athletes. So we decided we're gonna go top 10 men, top 10 women from this year will get an invite. Everybody else has to race their way in next year. We've got the U23 athletes that we've committed, the top U23 athletes from this year will get in, and then the rest are going to have to race their way in. They'll have to show up at the Lifetime Sea Otter Classic, race the Fuego XL, race the gravel race, and top scoring athletes will get in. So I'm wondering if that starts to change people's tactics over the next 2-3 races, thinking about, gosh, am I going to work? Is anybody going to work harder to get into the top 10? I don't know.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how these little ripple effects transcend through the peloton, to see how it gets interpreted. That's one of the most exciting things about kind of seeing this all develop as we're sitting here watching the racing happen. Is like, what's this going to look like, and how's that going to translate?
Well, and speaking of our athletes, it is now my favorite time of the show. Let's have our picks.
This is my least favorite part.
And unfortunately, my jerseys are currently off stage.
I know, and mine are down.
Hey, y'all. Might have
fail.
some assistance over here. Okay, so my picks for come Saturday. Thank you so much, Rebecca. All right, of course, ladies and gentlemen, for the male, hello, Keegan Swenson. How do you not pick Keegan? My God, this guy's phenomenal. He's a crusher. He's won 5 times. Come on, he's my male pick. Female pick is his better half, Sofia Gomez Vichafanye. Again, someone else. What a standout rider. She is a killer.
Sophia lost a race this year.
I think she's the best racer in America right now.
She is a killer.
By far.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see what earrings she's wearing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
She's
wait.
undefeated
The
in the
knives
Grand
are
Prix.
coming out.
Yeah.
The knives are coming out. And then also, let's see, my dark horse picks are Mike Woods, again, coming from World Tour into the gravel scene. It's a new thing for him, and he's learning the hard way, but he's my dark horse pick for the males. And for female, Ruth Holcomb, one of our young U23 riders out of Durango, Colorado, little stud, and I hope she crushes it tomorrow.
She just won Downeyville.
Okay, so I mean,
There you go.
All right, I'm on to something here.
Okay, maybe you are. I don't know. You picked like the 2 easy picks.
Sorry.
I don't think Ruth has scored any points this year, but she just
she's
looks
dark horse. Dark horse.
Her results
That's
are like
Lauren's definition
she's
of a
got
dark
some
horse.
fitness. She's got some fitness. So, well, since
on,
you,
Kimo.
well, on the men's side, for me, it was a toss up, and I think it's what everybody's talking about, right? And I think I probably would have chosen Keegan, but you chose before me, so I had to go with Quinn Simmons.
Yes.
I mean, how do you not? I mean, the guy, if you watched the Tour de France and you saw what he did this year, he had to be the most aggressive rider. I mean, there wasn't a day that you didn't see him on the front. And so bringing that kind of fitness, you never know 3 weeks out, like how that translates. Is he recovered? But he's just like Keegan even said, he's just so aggressive. He just takes the race to everybody. He's never going to be the guy to sit in.
Question for you. Do you think his hair will be flowing, or do you think he'll have it in a little bun?
Oh, that's usually a telltale sign if he's going to get in the break or not.
Yeah.
If it's down, he's not. If it's in a bun, he is.
He's going for it. Then I'd say he's going to be in. He'll
He's going to be in a bun.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the women's side. Look at
Look at that
go with
jersey.
Melisa.
Yeah, Melissa's off camera like, let's go.
That was an easy one. After what her performance last year, 6:59, again beat that record that stood for 10 years, to break 7 hours. I mean, she's just got such history. She knows this course inside and out, and she is. I'm believing that she's back on form. She had a tough, as we talked to her, she had a tough start on the year, but I just believe in my heart she's back on form and she's going to have a great day. On the men's side, dark horse, I got to go with this John Gaston guy. This dude, he races
Not a
2
dark
races
horse.
a year. Is it not a dark horse? Because he's been in the top 3 every time he's raced. Yeah.
I'm seriously going to print out the definition for you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, I mean, come on. The guy races 2 races a year. He races a 50-mile race in Aspen to get ready to come over and do Leadville. That's it.
Yep.
That's all he rides,
Okay, all right.
and he crushes it. And then I got, Lauren Stevens. She has had some solid performances here. I think Lauren is she's due for an opportunity. So she's one. I don't even know if that one would be a dark horse, but if she's on good form and has a good day, we've seen she's had some great performances this year as well.
Okay, well, I went outside of the box a little bit,
Okay.
maybe a little bit.
Okay, let's
Not
go.
really.
What you got?
But I'm going to go for my men's pick, Matt Beers.
Good pick.
Good pick, solid
Yes.
pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt's looking slim and lean, showed what he could do at Unbound. I think this course is really going to favor him with a few of those climbs kind of absent. So I'm looking for him to kind of challenge for that win. I'm excited to see what he can do. And then for the women, good grief, come on, Cecily.
Yeah.
Cecily Decker, she's due, right? She's due. Everybody's can agree with that. Like Cecily's she keeps showing up for performances. She was here and won the stage race just a few weeks ago. Had a really phenomenal climb up on Columbine when she was out here racing. So I think we're going to see something really good out of Cecily, and I'm looking forward to that. For my dark horses, okay, take a lesson.
Go on.
You're going to go dark on us.
I'm going to go dark. Well, for the women, this is not quite so dark, but I think that this is a rider that doesn't get quite the accolades that she deserves, is Sarah Lang. She's so strong, and I was out here one year checking out the climb at Powerline, and she was descending at practicing her descents, and there was a guy there that said someday she's going to be really good and she might even get in the top 5, and I think she finished that year in the top 5. So maybe that's not quite a dark horse, but my male pick is a dark horse, Henry Nelson. I'm going to give a shout out to him. He's from Lawrence, Kansas, has been living in Durango and racing.
Young kid.
And I'm I mean, I know it's a dark horse. That's a dark horse.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
I'd call that one a true dark horse.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
But
thank you.
he is a good kid.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Lead Out Show. Any final words and wrap up until we come back on Saturday?
I think it's going to be an exciting race. I think it's got, it's got all the factors. We've got just like you saw the lineup. I mean, the caliber of riders that are showing up, not only to all the Lifetime Grand Prix events, but also to the Lifetime Leadville Trail 100. It's just unbelievable how fast this group has gotten, the level of talent that we're attracting to these races. And I think it's just going to be a blazing day on Saturday.
I'm just going to go with my trademark word, fast. So let's do it. It's going to be so much fun. So.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. For Kristi Mohn and Kimo Seymour, I'm Lauren Hall. We'll see you bright and early, 5:45 on Saturday for the Leadville 100.
Thanks for joining us.